Wednesday edition. Humpin' it with Mello, D83, and the Maestro.
Hello and welcome everyone. The week is almost over. You're halfway there. It's Wednesday, hump day, and you're now humping it with Mello, D83, and the Maestro. Get your mind out of the gutter.
What it do, y'all? Welcome to another Wednesday edition of Humpin' It with the fools. Well, I guess I'm the only fool, really. But that's okay. You know, it's all good. No fool, no fun. So thank y'all for tuning in once again. We appreciate it, each and every one of you. And again, like, subscribe, tell your friends, your family, your loved ones, anybody. Check us out. So let's get into it. Mello, D83, what's good with y'all, man? How y'all feeling?
Doing well. How about yourself?
I ain't complaining, man, because if I did, nobody would listen, so it don't even matter. You feel me? Listen, don't give me that whack laugh. That was a whack laugh. That was like a corny laugh. Like, yo, this dude is whack.
I definitely wouldn't listen.
Well, thanks. I appreciate the support, man. It's all right, though. Don't listen to you anyways. I don't even like your segment. Yo, man, how was y'all's weekend, man? Was it good? Yeah? Anything special? Anything exciting?
Yeah, I'm officially done with school for this semester.
This term. I feel you.
Yes.
That's exciting because I remember. Trust me. I ain't even mad at you. D83, what about your weekend, man?
It was awesome.
Yeah?
Spent time with my kids.
Oh, that's always a blessing.
Yeah, except for the moment that my son, he was here, obviously, and he went to go take a shower, and then all of a sudden he's yelling for me. And I'm going, oh, man, what's going on? I'm popping the door. I'm like, hey, man, what do you need? He goes, hey, Dad, you got shampoo in here? I said, yeah, why? He goes, what do you need it for? You have no hair.
God!
Your kids never disappoint.
Wow! How did that make you feel?
And a part of me was like, Corner, I'm sorry, he slipped, he fell.
Oh, gosh. Dang. All right. I can understand that.
It was an accident.
It was. Wow. Hey, listen. Leave it to your kids to humble you real quick.
Oh, yeah.
They will always make you feel like you were less than anything. I don't know. My kids do it to me all the time.
Yeah, well, at 5'5", I feel less of a person all the time.
I'm gonna leave that alone. Let's jump right into it.
Here comes the starting 5'5" water boy, D83 with the 3 and out segment.
Yes, indeed. D83, what you got for us, man?
Well, first, like I said, I was hanging out with my kids this weekend. Saturday, we left Waffle House. I got completely, totally stuffed. Me personally, Waffle House makes the best breakfast in the world.
That's the hood. That's the hood special, baby. That's the hood special.
Yes, sir. So we left there. We went to the park. I wanted to shoot some ball.
Okay.
Young gentleman, which shows my age because he's 34. Anyways, he was like, I know him from the gym, and him and I have played one-on-one before, and he smokes me every time this dude can ball. And he goes, hey, man, what's going on? I said, oh, not much, man. Just, shooting some ball. And he goes, hey, I know you got one in you. I said, oh, man. Oh, man. Because I could tell that he's with guys that were even younger than him.
Oh.
I was like, God, man, I'm 40 years old. So we go over there. We play. We played to 16. I scored majority of the points, and I hit the game winner. I was really proud of myself.
Nice.
But, yeah, thank you. However, I was the only one gasping for air. And he was right. I only had one in me. I was like, all right, man, I'll see you guys later. I was just
Hey, listen,
tripping, but
don't even matter. You put it all on the line, man. That's all that counts. Gosh.
I was just glad I had my compression sleeve sock with me.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
Foot killing me.
I hear you, bro. We can't be doing that stuff no more. We too old for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you too old for that. Anyways.
Yeah, anyways, because, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, sounds good. So, XFL, I know I haven't said anything about that in a while because I really haven't watched too much of it, especially with the NBA playoffs going on. However, the XFL championship game is coming on Saturday at 8. It's against the Arlington Renegades and the DC Defenders, 8 o'clock Saturday. I definitely will watch that because hopefully a DC football team can actually do something. It'd be awesome. I don't know what that's like.
Well, you know, you have the Commanders, you know.
Who?
The Washington Commanders, sir.
What league do they play in?
In NFL. NFL
Oh.
last time I checked, yeah. You know?
That's right. That's my team.
Yeah, that's your squad, right?
Yeah, they suck so bad I forget about them all the time. Sorry.
Oh, man, listen. Oh, that's cold-blooded, bro. You supposed to stick with your team. Win or lose, man.
Yeah, but there's only so much you can take.
This is true. I think most Commanders fans feel like that right about now.
Yeah.
It's been a long
And the name
time.
doesn't even sound tough.
I mean, I get the theme, you know what I'm saying? Being Washington Commander. Yeah, I get it, but yeah. Washington football team might have been just better.
I liked it better that way anyways, because then if they won, I could at least say, you know, if I was talking to somebody in there, you know, say for instance, you know, the Washington football team beat the Green Bay Packers, and I knew somebody was a Green Bay Packers fan, I could at least say, hey, you know, hey, your team lost to a no-name team. You suck.
Wow. Well, all right. I see your point, sir. I see your point.
They even took that from me. Anyways, so NBA playoffs. NBA playoffs. Monday night, I'm still trying to recoup from that. I stayed up late, way past my bedtime. I was up till 12:35 exactly. Barely holding on. I was like this. I was taping my eyes open. It's an awesome game between the Lakers and the Warriors.
Fire.
Lakers are up. Yes, sir. Lakers are up 3-1 in the series. That particular game ended 104-101. The last couple minutes of that whole game were absolutely phenomenal. The Lakers switched off on Anthony Davis on the Steph Curry, and Steph wanted no parts of that 7-foot big guy.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna tell you what. Couldn't shoot over him.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah, the only risk they're taking is then you're not going to have him down, you know, at the post to
Correct.
get the rebounds. But
correct.
it worked out for him. It was
I was
awesome.
gonna say that was a smart move. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then
Smart because it worked.
right. Because if it had failed, then you know,
Then it'd be-
who coach is terrible, this, that, and the third, all of that. So that's
It is what it is.
yeah. I mean, you got to
So-
pull out all the stops, man.
Yes, sir. Game 5 is tonight, so I'll be staying up late again. I say Golden State wins tonight. It's in Golden State. I say they win, but then
so?
it goes back to L.A. Game 6. I say Lakers end it in Game 6.
Okay. So you think Lakers gonna take it?
Yeah, oh, definitely. They have to. If they don't win tonight, they have to win Game 6 because they can't afford to go Game 7. They definitely lose Game 7 if it goes to Game 7.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah,
Dang.
we'll see. I say, you know, if it was me, you know, if the game's not going well, I sit everybody down. If I'm, you know, coach of the Lakers, I sit everybody down. Say, look, let's just rest, get prepared
There you go.
for Game 6. I'm gonna shut it down.
Exactly.
You know, we'll let them win this one. So
There you go. That's smart, actually.
maybe we'll see. I'm not a smart guy. I'm not a very smart guy. I just have thoughts.
But you do know what love is.
No, I don't.
Oh.
Oh.
Yo, God. Gosh, she gave you the pity joint. Oh,
Aw. Anyway, so tonight you got the Heat and the Knicks series back up. Heat are winning 3-1 in that series. Celtics, 76ers. 76ers are up 3-2.
Okay.
Nuggets, Suns. Nuggets are up 3-2. The Celtics, 76ers, Nuggets, and Suns, those series continue tomorrow night. I say 76ers are going to close out that series, and the Nuggets definitely close out the series between the Suns, which is breaking my heart because every team that I want to win in the playoffs has been winning, with the exception of the Suns. I don't think they're going to win.
You never know, man. Any given day, man.
Yeah, just not tomorrow.
Oh, dang. Well, so much for hope. You have dashed that. Tis what it is. God. It's tough out there, man.
Yes, sir. But anyways, that's all I got,
Right on.
and I'm thrilled.
Excellent, man. I do think I'm going to catch that final Lakers or the next Lakers game. I told you I'm not a huge fan of NBA, but that game was exciting. Like I watched the highlights and I wanted to watch it, so I think I'm gonna catch the next one.
Yeah, it definitely should be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna watch tonight's game and the next game.
Yeah.
If need be.
Right. For sure. Let's get it.
Now it's time for a classically awesome journey to Squareville with Mello.
Mello, take us on a trip, homie.
All right. Well, first and foremost, this Sunday is Mother's Day.
Facts.
And I want to give a shout out to all the mothers. Happy early Mother's Day. Mm-hmm. And just give you just a brief snippet of history behind Mother's Day because it was kind of interesting as to how this holiday started.
Okay. What we got?
So, Mother's Day was created by Anna Jarvis in 1908, and it became an official U.S. holiday in 1914. It was based, or she thought of making a holiday to celebrate mothers because her mother ended up dying. And she wanted a holiday that was less male-oriented, a national holiday.
Dang. Just cut us out,
So,
huh?
no, but think about it, back in the early 1900s.
No, I get it. I definitely get it.
She remained unmarried, never had any children herself, and wrote letters, lobbied, and just kept making sure that it would become a national holiday. And it did. And it's something that we still celebrate today. Now, we celebrate it here in May in the United States, but other countries, they have like equivalents of Mother's Days, or usually some sort of holiday representing motherhood
Yeah, right.
or something. But that's a little bit about Mother's Day for the U.S. And again, happy Mother's Day to all the moms. Mom,
My
happy
dude.
Mother's Day.
Yeah, my dude.
I like that. I never knew that. I like the
That's
storyline
dope.
behind
Yeah,
that.
absolutely, man.
Absolutely.
By the way, though, Maestro, I'll catch up with you probably Saturday or Sunday. I got your Mother's Day gift.
Oh, you disloyal. Oh, you go catch that now. You just wait. This man tried to play me just now, y'all. Woo. Go ahead, Bella.
Oh, gosh. So, another topic I wanted to talk about, since I just mentioned that I just finished my semester at J Sarge. I've still got about another year before I get my associate. But I'm not taking any summer classes because I just need a break. So, to say the semester just ended, I took my last exam last night at 7 p.m.
Free at
So-
last, free at last.
Oh my gosh. So it brings me to the question, and we've heard people discuss it before, even we've had discussions before. Is college a waste of money? So, I think that for me, my situation might be a little different because I'm not technically paying for my college. The government is paying for my college. But don't do that. Don't do that.
What? I didn't say nothing.
I mean, I'm very fortunate in that respect, and a lot of people don't. They have to either try and get scholarships, grants,
Financial aid.
or loans. Exactly.
Let's
So,
talk about that loan epidemic.
but the thing is, college, is it really necessary if you want to be an entrepreneur? Because you really don't need a bachelor's to start your own business. And the
Sure.
reason I say that, there are a lot of famous people who never went to college and are household names today.
I mean, you don't need any degree for real. Like if we talk about
Right.
it, you know,
True.
you just got to learn the business, you know? And I'm going to tell you a lot of what you learn on the job. So the various jobs that you work, you get that experience, you know, you learn the ins and outs. So is it necessary? No. I think there are aspects or not aspects, but I think there are situations where a college degree might be needed. I think my scenario is kind of like that, right? So I did a career change, you know, several years ago, and I could have done it by just getting certifications. But for somebody who struggles to study, you know, the classroom setting was ideal for me, right?
Right.
So it enabled me to, you know, be able to make that career change, you know. So could I have done it without? Sure. Would it have been? Could I have done it in the time frame that it happened? No, not on my own volition, you know. So, but you know, that doesn't go for everybody.
Sure.
You know, so this is my thoughts.
Yeah.
I like that.
And D83, you started your own business. No college degree, you're doing well. So, it just kind of goes to show you, while it might be for some people, it might not necessarily be for everyone. Names like Ty Warner, Beanie Babies, Frank Lloyd Wright, most influential architect of the 20th century, Steve Jobs, Walt Disney, Bill Gates, Michael Dell, Henry Ford, Milton Hershey, Mary Kay Ash. All of those names are synonymous with businesses that are still
major businesses,
yeah, that are still, flourishing today, and none of them went to college.
That leads me to a point. I ain't gonna get too deep into this, but I think what does our education system really do, right? What are we really learning? Do we learn fundamental skills that we need to be successful? Typically, we learn about history. We learn mathematics that a lot of us will never see or use again in our life, right? Now, I understand some of those are building blocks. They're essential, right? I get that. But what about money management skills, right? What about time management skills? What about, entrepreneurial skills? The school doesn't teach us any of that. What our education system is designed to do is create good employees.
Sure.
Right? In a capitalistic system, you need employees. You need classes, right? That's how it functions, right? And, you have your 1%ers or whatever you want to call them, the top most wealthy people who are your CEOs, who are your business owners, you know what I'm saying, who are the top earners, right? And then you have everybody else under that. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So I think the education system is designed to churn out good employees. It's not designed to enable or create, businesses, entrepreneurs, what I'm saying, things like that. Now, people can take advantage of that, what I'm saying, and use the knowledge that they gain and, branch off into it, but it's not a necessity, clearly,
Right. Yeah.
And at least, for the public school system, it's getting even worse. My son, who's in the 6th grade, he never has homework. I'm like, what the heck? Like,
Yeah.
I remember being in school and I was bombarded with,
Homework.
schoolwork.
Oh my gosh.
Homework.
All the time. Yep.
Yeah.
But back to the business thing, as far as, you're talking about needing education, to start your own business. I've always just lived off these 3 principles for myself, which I made, which were likability, ability, and availability. I think it always starts with likability. If people like working with you, they'll continue to do business with you. And I found that to be essential. Just this past week, I had a client, call me and say, hey, you got this job. And I was like, oh, cool. I was like, cool. He's like, yeah, you were a little higher than the other people because, they did, get other quotes from other businesses. Like you were higher, but, we like working with you. And I really enjoy working with you. So,
Absolutely.
likability and obviously ability. I don't care if you're doing crafts and that's your business. You're just making crafts. You better have the ability to be the best craft maker that you possibly can be. And then obviously availability. We live in an impatient society, so you got to be
Very true.
available. And
Very true. Yeah.
sometimes more available to more needing people than
Right. You have your
either way.
certain ones that
Those are
need,
things.
yeah. But no, that's dope, man. That's absolutely dope. And those are great points, I think, especially for somebody who's looking to start their business. You know what I'm saying? Who's looking to be the entrepreneur, right? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's not easy to start your own business, but the rewards in it, and you got to start somewhere.
Sure.
You're not just going to jump into, a multi-billion-dollar corporation, just out of, sheer luck. You got to put that work in. So that's what it is, man. But again, to stay on subject, you don't need a college degree for that, right? You just
There may be
you need to just.
some.
I don't think so.
Some. It just depends on what you're starting your business in, and you may benefit from having one.
You can learn 99% of what you need by field experience, right? You work in these different positions, right? You start from the bottom. You start when you're young, whatever it is you want to do. You move up. Once you become in a manager spot or supervisor spot, you learn more of the behind the scenes business and numbers, right? You learn about your P&Ls, you learn about, costs and revenues and all of that stuff, So as you work up, you can certainly gain all you need to know, just by field experience. I don't think it's 100% necessary. Now, some people would argue that, well, it's a fast track, get your education, it's a fast track. And I can see that. You get your 4-year degree versus, could you learn all that in 4 years of working on a job? I don't know. So, but I mean,
But the most important thing too, if you do start a business, would be managing money. Managing the money is very important.
Absolutely.
Most businesses fail after 5 years due to mismanaging money.
Yep. That's one. You got to be a good steward of those funds, man. It doesn't matter what capacity you're in, even in your personal life. You can't manage your funds, you in trouble. That's just what it is. So, but and again, that's something that school doesn't teach you. You got to learn that.
This is true.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah. So, in the emerging job world, we all know what white collar jobs are. Usually office jobs, blue collar jobs, or technical jobs. There's a new term called new collar jobs. And just a few of these types of jobs you can start at 60,000 up to 100,000 without even a college degree. And most people who work in these areas don't have college degrees. Like a
Right.
new nuclear power reactor operator, you can make like 100 G's. Construction manager, transportation, storage, and distribution manager. And it goes on and on. One that I'm familiar with, not personally because I've done it, but my husband, a locomotive engineer.
Because they provide on-the-job training, right? So they give you the
Exactly.
skills so that you can do this job. That's,
But I
what it
think
is.
the comparison is more into the amount of money you can make versus getting a college degree in something and it being comparable to that.
Correct. And how many graduates come out of college with degrees and don't even work in the field that they went to school for? That happens
Oh, yeah.
all the time. So
I have a friend who went to college, got her bachelor's, and then she went back to school a few years ago to do a career change because she never got a job in her original field
yep.
and just had to start over.
Yeah.
So the gist of all of this is that yes, college is for some people. You kind of have to determine what it is you want to do and kind of start making a plan early on. Like those that are coming out of high school, hey, live your life a little if you don't want to know and decide if college is something you want to do. But at the end of all of that, it's going to take a while. It's going to accumulate debt, which may take up to 20 years to pay off. So that's something you do have to keep in mind. But this is not in any way knocking college education whatsoever, but it's just giving options for people who might think that, hey, this is what I have to do.
Right. You got to decide for yourself. And the key is figure out what you want to do, set a plan, plot it out. How do I get there? What's
Exactly.
the best way to get there? So dopeness. Mello, we appreciate that trip down to Squareville.
You're welcome.
Let's get it.
あなたが一緒にいないと心が折れる
Yes. All right. Let's get right into it. The anime review I have for y'all today. The anime name is Rent a Girlfriend. Rent a Girlfriend. I was actually quite surprised at how good this one was. Reading the name and just kind of, reading the synopsis, I was like, you know what? This is going to be a little corny. I was quite surprised. Listen, it's dope. It's dope. So it's 2 seasons, right? The last season just came out not too long ago. 24 episodes, and I am anxiously waiting for season 3. I did not know a dating anime would be that intriguing, but it was. So basically, we have Kazuya Kinoshita, who is a 20-year-old college student. He is dating the beautiful Mami Nanami. Don't ask me. That's what her name is. Mami Nanami. All right. When one day she decides to break up with him, right? And Kazuya's devastated, right? Kazuya is kind of like your introverted, shy, kind of quiet guy, right? So it devastates him, right? Because he was really feeling her. So to kind of fill that void, he happens upon this site, this app on his phone where you can rent a girlfriend. So he searches through and he finds Chizuru. Chizuru, I can't pronounce her last name, so I ain't gonna try. But who is gorgeous, beautiful, right? Instantly, he's like taken aback by her. So he books her, right? And they go out on their first date. And basically, he kind of falls for her, right? And, he's taking he's smitten, I guess is the right word, by her looks, her charm, her caring personality. So once the date is over, he goes back and he starts reading reviews on Chizuru. And once he starts reading, he notices that all the guys are kind of saying the same thing about her personality, how caring she is, how beautiful she is, things like that. So in his mind, he's like, okay, well, this is just a game to her. And, she's not really into me, right? This is all just a ploy to mess with me, considering he rented a girlfriend, you would think. But anyways, but you know how fragile broken hearts can be, you know what I'm saying? So he gives her a bad review. So once Shizuru finds out, she catches up with him and blasts him for the bad review, showing her true colors. Right? So basically, she is a take no crap type of girl. But as she's blasting him, their conversation is cut short because he gets a call and his grandma has been sent to the hospital. She's fallen and been sent to the hospital. So Kazuya and Chizuru rush over to go see her. And he finds that she's in, good spirits, good health. It wasn't as bad as he thought. So basically his grandma is curious and she's like, yo, so who is this girl? And instinctively he says, oh, this is my girlfriend. Oh boy. That's where the drama starts. So it forces Chizuru to play along. And the story unfolds from that point, basically. So now he is too ashamed to tell his grandma the truth. So they have to keep this ploy up. But the twist is, there's so many twists in this thing, is how this lie basically has to keep unfolding in just the different scenarios and the bonds that actually start to be created from this, and then the other players that are in this thing. Mommy shows back up into the picture once she learns about all the. It's a great anime. You won't be bored. Some of the pros are relatable characters, excellent story building, detailed artwork. The artistry is beautiful. The voice acting is fire. And there's a lot of twists and turns in the story that keep you watching it. So it's really lighthearted. It's good for all ages. Maybe not really young kids. There's no nudity, right? Or nothing really sexually like that, but there might be some hints there. Just a couple of cons I found. Sometimes it can be a little drawn out. It's a story, so it's basically a love story, so it's got to be explained a little bit. So, and it might be a little cheesy for some people, right? I like stuff like that. It was cool to me. I didn't think it was too much cheesiness at all. I thought it was a good mix of everything. Definitely worth watching. Senpai score, I give it a 9.
Nice.
So check it out. Rent a Girlfriend, definitely worth watching.
I'm gonna tell you what. When you said that there was a twist, I just knew that the twist was the cops came in, busted him, and apparently this rent a girlfriend thing was illegal.
Oh, wow. Where did your mind go, sir? Well, I mean, that could
I'm not
happen.
willing to say. I'm not willing to say because I mean, my mind, rent a girlfriend's,
Oh, let's not
legal.
let's not incriminate yourself on the air, sir. Yo, don't give up the ghost just yet, man. Oh gosh. All right. Next thing I got for y'all. One I found super interesting in the tech world. I've read into this a little bit before, but it's using DNA as a storage medium, right? So basically, what they've been able to do, right, and they've proven this, is they can write data to DNA strands.
Yes.
It's, to me, when I first read about this was a few years ago. I was mind boggled. I was like, yo, seriously? Like, how, But if you think about it, DNA holds all the data for our physical and genetic makeups, right? So it holds a ton of data. And scientists have figured out a way to be able to write to it and then read that information again. So basically, real quick. This is a snippet from interestingengineer.com. The author is Rupendra Brahmabat. And forgive me if I pronounce that name wrong. But basically, there's an estimate out there that's saying that data centers will be unable to keep up with the amount of data that we have flowing across the internet. Basically, we got about 3 years before we run out of space, so to speak. I don't know how true that is, but that's what the article has. So this claim was made by Tom DeGrief, who was a professor of synthetic biology at Eindhoven University of Tech. So basically what him and his team have been able to do is take the technology to write data to DNA. And they've come up with, I guess, for lack of a better term, a perfected method, right? So one of the issues with writing to DNA that scientists have had is oftentimes the method that they use to read and write to it can damage the DNA. So it makes the data unreadable. Well, they've been able to successfully, in their test, use proteins and kind of a polymer, and then kind of encase the DNA so that it's more durable, for lack of a better term. So just to give you an idea, a group of Harvard scientists successfully accomplished writing to DNA in 2012. And I remember this one. They were able to store 1.29 petabytes. So petabytes is a measurement of data, right? So you most people probably aren't familiar with that unless you're in the tech world. You are familiar probably with gigabytes, right? You've heard that. Your phone deals with it. Your computers deal with it. It's a measurement of storage. So to put that into perspective, 1.29 petabytes equals 1,280,000 gigabytes. It's an enormous amount of data, right? And they were able to store that on each gram of DNA. So if you think about that, try and put that into perspective, a gram of DNA can hold 1,280,000 gigabytes worth of data. That's insane. So the problem with that is, though, currently right now, it takes a lot of high-tech resources and skilled people to do that. So basically, with this new method, they're hoping that because it makes it more stable, the loss of data is much less, that they've kind of created the perfect scenario for this to become mainstream. So we could be in the near future seeing, instead of having a hard drive, you could have a hard drive made up of DNA that's grown in the lab in your PC, and you saving stuff to it. I don't know how that's really gonna go, but you know, they're looking at mainstream adoption of this method. So I thought that was super interesting. It could be super scary depending on how you look at it, because we're delving into a whole lot of stuff. Science is, so could be good, could be bad. Just depends, right?
Which will bring me to something I will talk about on a later show dealing with DNA, which is CRISPR, clustered regular interspace short palindromic repeats.
Yeah, see, look, you can't even pronounce it. Yeah, no, it's too square for you.
But I did a research paper on this, just very basically, but there's a lot going on with DNA. And I would love to be able to share that with some of y'all later, some of the forefronts that
you're gonna have to break that. You got to break that down for some of us.
I will. It might have to be over a few shows, but I will definitely.
That sounds real deep. That sounds real Einstein minded. So, but all right, well, let's jump right back into it. And our topic for today is bullying. Right? Bullying. So let's talk about it. Number one, has anybody here experienced bullying firsthand? I will raise my hand too. Would anybody care to share? This might be a therapy session.
Yes, I would like to share it because it is definitely similar to what takes place on and off this podcast between you and I.
What?
Yeah, sure.
You do bully me up quite a bit. I wasn't going to
bully
say
me.
anything. I wasn't going to say anything, but
I'm usually the more calmer.
this is not true.
subtle.
This is false.
My comments are always very happy and polite.
Don't believe him. Don't believe the hype. He's capping. I'm just saying. He's capping. This man, he torments me on a daily basis.
I don't believe him. Okay, who you gonna believe? Look at his face.
Wow, you're suspect already. I don't do such things, sir.
I think that's bullying right there.
What?
Okay,
What's bullying?
you're
What-
bullying me. You're bullying me.
sir.
You are.
I think you're making excuses. You're trying to slander me, and I don't appreciate it.
No, but me personally, I won't use this person's name in case he's watching because I don't want to get attacked again. Okay, still frightened.
You 40 years old,
Hey.
bro.
I might still be peeking out the window. Is he there? Is he
Oh
here?
gosh, man, it's got to be real.
I used to get into a lot of fights in school. I thought I was a pretty tough guy. I liked getting in fights. I don't no longer. I no longer like getting in fights. I'm the first one to run. Just saying. I'm a lover, not a fighter. This particular time in school, buddy of mine was like, "Man, you think you're so tough? You've been getting all these fights. Why don't you go fight such and such?" I was like, "He ain't got nothing on me. Watch this. I got this." We were in the cafeteria. This particular person was standing in the lunch line. I tapped him on his shoulder. Sucker punched him. Okay? Sucker punched him. He turned around. It was in that moment that I realized I screwed up. I should have kept swinging. Instead, I was stunned because I felt like I gave it my all. And I went, "Oh my God. He just ate that. I'm sorry. Hey, wrong guy. You look like such and such."
Ain't no
Oh,
turning
no,
back
that's not
now.
what happened. No. Now I realize I started the fight. To some, it may seem like I was being the bully. Oh no, because what he did to me after that was definitely he was the bully. Okay, he beat the mess out of me, and then carried me outside. I didn't even realize there was an exit door in the cafeteria until he drugged me out of the cafeteria, and beat the brakes off me. He then put a rock in his fist and started pounding me in the face. The first chance I got, I stood up and ran into school. Like I never ran into school a day in my life. Okay. I was so happy to get back into the school building. Okay. It was so bad. I started the fight. Nothing happened to me. He got expelled due to the bullying that took place on my face.
The violent beating that you. Gosh. Wow.
Oh, Lord.
Well, some might say you got what you deserve, sir. Some might say that. I wouldn't say that.
No, you would.
No, I wouldn't. We're friends. I would never say that to you.
Oh my gosh.
Are we friends? The way you talk to me says different.
I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean, sir. I don't understand. I don't understand the words.
Oh, you know. That's all I got as far as my story.
Got you. Mello?
Yes, I have a story. You know the story. That's why you're laughing so hard. I didn't even say anything yet.
Yes. Yes, I do. I know exactly what you're going to say.
Okay, I'll share the story and then I'll share a little bit of the statistics with you.
No names, though. We're going to keep it clean.
No, we're not saying any names. We'll just call him my high school tormentor.
Hey, that's real.
But it started in junior high school. I'd say like about my 7th, 8th grade year. Yes, that would be accurate. So this person rode the bus with me because he lived in a neighborhood not too far from where I lived. Our bus went through there. I don't know how it started or what possessed this gentleman to decide to start picking on me, but it just started growing and growing and growing. And I had a nickname, Snoop. Where did that come from? And
Snoop
it
Doggy.
lasted it lasted from, I think, 8th grade all the way until I graduated. This gentleman not only picked on me every time he saw me, but he got his friends to start doing it. Mind you, I was very much more square than I am now.
I beg to
I
differ.
even look the part.
I beg to differ.
Look,
I beg to differ. I don't think you've ever been so square as you are now. I'm just saying. Sorry. I'm sorry.
but thinking back on it, there are rumors as to why he started it, but no one knows for sure except for him.
He liked you.
Probably.
Listen, that's why most guys do it. That's why most. I'm just saying.
But
If you're
it
picking on a
gave
female,
me a complex all the way from 8th grade until I graduated. I wouldn't say damaged, but I was traumatized.
that's facts. That's facts.
And I never it kind of caused me not to feel like I fit in. Because it was like a whole group of people against me.
Facts.
And
I get
I
it.
didn't do anything. I was just me.
Hey, but honestly, we laugh and joke about it now, obviously, because we've grown. But I went through a similar situation, and I got picked on a lot, because I was always the quiet guy, right? I was always quiet to myself. But I got picked on quite a bit from elementary all the way up. High school, it was kind of over with, right? Because at that point, I was a much bigger guy, right? So I'm not gonna say I was intimidating, but I was cool with people. I think I opened up a little bit more and stuff like that. But yeah, I caught it. Elementary school all the way up, you name it. You know what I'm saying? I was teased, bullied. It's just a lot of stuff. But again, we laugh about it. We can joke about it now, but I think it's it's for us and now for the kids growing up now. I think it's really different, man. And it's a lot scarier. Whether you believe kids are softer now, or whether you believe that it's just become that much more aggressive, right? And I tend to think the latter. I think it's just more aggressive. But I think social media is probably the pivotal point where it really became so bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because kids identities are online, right? That's how they validate themselves. How many likes you get, how many followers you get. And there's this, this imaginary wall that people can hide behind, and they can say whatever they want to say and without fear of repercussion, because you're not going now. And this is for adults too. Let's be real. Like any given day, you can go on any of the social media platforms and look in the comments and see somebody being a complete butthole. I was going to say something else, but I'm going to keep it clean, keep it 100, to somebody for no reason, just because they can. Right?
Yeah.
And, the internet and social media has given people, I say us because I don't do that. But, it's given people this false sense of security, that they can say whatever they want and get away with it without repercussion. Yeah. And it is damaging, especially because it's almost like, it can almost be like a DDoS attack, right? And I know a lot of people don't know what that is. I explained that a little bit before, but basically, it's just you get this mass, influx of negative comments, and it can really be damaging. It can really be hurtful,
Yes.
Because now it's not just amongst friends or this class or whatever. It's out here for the world to see,
Yeah.
And I think that's such a problem, man. Especially with kids, man.
Definitely, because kids can be more emotionally
Absolutely.
strong.
Right.
They
Yeah.
can have control of their emotions.
Exactly. Exactly. They don't have the life experience like we do. You know what I'm saying? And it's become, it is, I'm not a proponent, let me rephrase that. I'm not a fan. I don't know what I was trying to say there, but I'm not a fan of, giving kids, cell phones early, right? Because of these factors, right? Because your child could be responsible, but if there's open access to stuff, they still can get exposed to things, and it's tough, man. In this day and age, though, it's kind of, it's kind of a catch-22 because you need to be able to be in touch with them, right? Wherever they go after school activities, just because the world is so crazy, right? You need to be able to track them and know where they're at. But at the same time, that same device that would be used for a good thing has so many negatives to it also. So I'm sure, everybody has an opinion on that, but, some people I've heard say that, kids are just soft, right? Everybody, and I think one of the things people have said also, I've heard people say is like, everybody gets a participation trophy now, right? It's kind of like one of those things where before there was a clear winner or loser, like in whatever competition, like if you're competing in something, sports or whatever, but now everybody gets a, participation trophy. It's like everybody's a winner. And, people tend to think that has, softened children, right? I don't know. I can't really say yes or no to that, but, I guess, my point is like, it's going to be there, right? Let's be completely honest. Society is what it is. Human beings are who they are. You got some good people, you got some complete buttholes, right? You have kids that mimic, right, and learn behaviors, right? I don't think there's any child that's born a butthole, right? Everything we learn from watching and seeing, and listening. So the kids that are bullying, a lot of times they're going through something, they've been bullied, right? So they in turn inflict that hurt upon somebody else, or they've just picked it up from somewhere, right? And think that, that's an okay behavior, or either use it to fit in so they don't become the victim, right?
Correct.
So, I don't want to talk the whole time because I'll go on and on about this clearly. I'll let y'all get some stuff in,
Everything's well said.
But,
Yeah.
Well
Let me
said.
share some statistics with you from the National Center for Educational Statistics. It's reported that 1 out of every 5 students have been bullied. So if you think about it, that's about 20%. A higher percentage of male than female students report being physically bullied,
I can see that. That's facts.
whereas a higher percentage of females report being subjects of rumors,
Yeah,
which is a form of bullying,
absolutely. Absolutely.
and being excluded from activities. 41% of students who reported being bullied at school indicated they think the bullying would happen again. And 46% of bullied students report notifying an adult at school about the incident. Now you have cyberbullying, which has its own set of statistics and percentages, but just in respect of time, I'm gonna just share just a couple of other quick statistics. Students with disabilities, there's a prevalence of about 35.3% to 33.9% of students with autism experience bullying. 24.3% with intellectual disabilities, 19% with specific learning disabilities. As far as race or color, 23% of African American students, 23% of Caucasian students, 16% of Hispanic, and 7% of Asian students. More than one third of adolescents report bullying by school bullies. And those that identify as LGBTQ, 70.1% were verbally bullied in the past year because of their sexual orientation.
I can definitely see that, 'cause that is oh man, it is a very controversial topic depending on either side you're on. So I won't get into that at all. But it's to me, nobody deserves to be bullied, right? But unfortunately, the reality of the situation is this is the society we live in, right? There's always going to be discrimination based on something, right? It doesn't matter what it is. We'll never get to a place in society where it's not going to happen, right? That's just the root of human beings, I believe. There's always going to be, that element there. But nobody should have to go through that. But unfortunately, you will at some point in your life. Everybody, I think, every child will eventually have to deal with some sort of bullying or discrimination like that. So I think it's super important as parents that we have these conversations early with our kids, right? Because unfortunately, it can get to the point to where your kids cannot take it, right? And they do. They suicide happens, man. And it's detrimental. We've heard it all on the news. We've heard it before, and it's super scary to think that
I'm constantly.
That we have to watch our kids for that. You know what I'm saying? All because somebody has made a choice. You know what I'm saying? To discriminate or bully or talk about, or hate on for whatever reason, and it's ridiculous, man. Absolutely
I'm constantly,
ridiculous.
when I talk, I'm with you on that, because when I talk to my kids every day when they get home from school, I'm always asking the same questions. Did you make anybody laugh today? Did you make anybody smile? Then I end it with, did you get along with everybody? And I always ask that for a reason, because I want to know if they're getting bullied.
Exactly.
If that's the case, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how I would handle that.
Listen,
I'm gonna be honest. Probably not well.
I have a special needs child, and one of my greatest fears is that, right? Somebody's gonna, she's gonna get bullied or taken advantage of, and I'm gonna tell you right now, as somebody's gonna catch the wrath. You know what I'm saying? There's no question. And I think there's a propensity for parents to not believe that their kid is capable of doing something like that. And that's where the problem lies, right?
Yeah.
We all want to believe our kids are great. We all want to believe our kids are doing, the best things and do it. But you have to understand they're in a scenario where peer pressure is a driver, right? Mm-hmm. They're going to look at somebody else and do it and not fully understand their actions. Right, so this might not be malicious in intent initially, but the damage it can cause can be irreversible, right? So
Absolutely.
We have to, as parents, we have to be aware and understand that, hey, you know what? My child might be capable of doing something like that unintentionally,
Yeah.
So,
like you said, with social media platforms, it's so much easier because
Absolutely.
I can be extremely tough behind the keyboard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Extremely tough.
Yep. But even adults, right? Like I said, but
Yes.
you ain't gonna come say it to my face though. You stand behind that keyboard and do it all day long, but come see me and say it, right? Because then you know it's gonna be a problem. Oh, you gonna come? You come? You
come see.
Don't come see me, please.
Yeah, because I told you I got your Mother's Day gift.
Oh, disloyal fool! I can't finish that either.
Yeah, I definitely won't come see you for a fight, because we all know I'd lose. So it is what it is.
All I would have to do is step on you, sir. That's all. So,
You don't want these problems. I'm a real tough guy on stilts. You understand?
On what?
Stilts.
On stilts. So you'll actually be of normal height when you're on stilts. Is that what you're saying?
Anyway, so that's going to do it for us today. Thanks for joining. Make sure you follow this bullying podcast. This podcast, the Humpin' It podcast, on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and also Spotify. And yes, I almost forgot. The next time you're humping it, think of us. Get your mind out of the gutter and into this podcast, which is full of bullying.
Wow.
Love you guys. 2 fingers. Peace.
Peace.